All right. Well, I'm going to start recording. This is lagging, so I'm going to prepare some backup stuff here. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Strength Hammer episode, whatever the hell it is.
Hello.
Matt, how are you doing?
Great. Been building. I know it's hobby, but I'm gonna jump ahead. Been building terrain.
Well, that's always fun.
It's taking a lot longer than I remember it.
Yeah, I know. I just built 10 Necromunda models, and it went quick, but it was also kind of like, taking a break from this has really slowed me down a little bit.
No, I'll tell you, man. On Sunday, I probably spent a good 8 hours building. I literally got that done. I got this thing. I forget what it's called, but
Yeah.
that was released as a new kit. I got the Stormcast Chariot built, and then the from the new terrain kit, the Realmscape expansion set. I got the two of the walls with the statue over top of it built,
Okay.
and
All right.
that's it. That's a lot for for an 8 hour excursion.
Yeah. I mean, man, I've got
Oh,
a start
hey,
of a
we got
Drukari
a
army.
call from a got a call. We got a Neil.
We got Neil. See joining. Oh, check out the app here. I'll jump in unless you've started. No worries, I can catch you next time. Says Neil. This is live on the podcast, everybody. All good. We switched to teams. This is the quality content.
This is
All
what
right.
you signed up for.
It is. There's Dave. All right.
There's Dave.
I
My
do.
computer. Hold on, my audio is bypassing my headphones.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. Don't forget to send Dave or Neil an invite.
God
Yes.
damn it.
We are recording, Dave. So I hope you're doing well.
God damn it.
Teams apparently gives me a slight lag, so I do have a little backup image.
Spot on.
Here, I'm gonna just paste the backup image link to put in here. So if it gets too bad, everybody at home, if you're watching on YouTube, hide your kids. Here's a nice picture of Marathi that I will put up for the video. But for now, we'll go back to our faces and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm starting a Drukari army, Kharadron Overlord's army, Necromunda. I put together a Mordheim force, and I have an idea for Cities of Sigmar army. So I am back, baby. I am freaking going all in. Yeah, I would say. Oh, you think Neil's going to make it in time?
I have sent him the invite.
Okay,
We're
so
gonna record for like an hour, so
yeah, that's true.
we'll probably be done by the end.
Dave, what's your hobby? That's what we've been talking about.
Whew. So my hobby has been nothing.
Okay, no, that's fine.
But I did, of course, as a subscriber to Warhammer Plus, get the whole voucher thing that I had to spend this month, and just today I picked it up.
What? Those aren't Noblars.
What?
Nope, but they're going to be painted just as soon as the novel.
Well, see, it's just very odd because like you got elves, I got dwarves. I'm not good at the camera. Oh God, how does it work? Oh boy. Maybe we should go back to that Marathi picture sooner. Yeah, I'm starting lots of army projects and it's fun and it's exciting and I don't know when it's gonna stop. But yeah. Fitness. Dave, how's your fitness been?
I've been focusing on mental and emotional strength,
Okay.
which is actually true, honestly.
Okay, no, that's fair. I was like, if you're pulling that out just to get past this, then I was gonna hassle you. But if it's true, good for you, man.
Yeah, no, I've been honestly going to therapy and trying to de-stress, and so getting things right up here and down here,
Good.
and not lower where my belly is.
Good. I did see
I think,
from your wife on Facebook. Not that I'm not friends with your wife, but since you like it or something,
wow.
it pops up. You're having some potty issues.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yes. So a week ago today, so Thursdays are great days for me because I don't have any classes or anything.
Right.
So last Thursday I was here at home trying to get some stuff done, and I had like virtual meetings and whatnot. And then mid-afternoon, all of a sudden I hear Meg like shouting my name from the top of her lungs above. So I was down here in the basement. She's up on the second floor, and I go up there, and the toilet tank decided to crack, so all the water came spilling out, and so we had to hold up the little plunger in there so that the water would stop, because at this point it was just anyway. So I ran down, got a wrench, closed up the water valve,
Mm-hmm.
and then Friday we had to have people come out and look to dry everything, because we were starting to see water making the paint bulge in the kitchen,
Okay.
right beneath the bathroom. And then so they had these huge like industrial dehumidifiers and fans and everything, so everything was really loud in the kitchen, everything was really loud in the hall bathroom, the kids bathroom where this happened, everything was really loud in the master bathroom right next to it. And the bathrooms themselves got up to like 113, 115 degrees because of that stuff.
Wow.
It was insane. Then they come in today, and they tested all the dryness and everything. They had demolished yesterday a big part of the ceiling in the kitchen to check on everything, and and so they said, oh, it's looking dry, we can take everything out. And they put up plastic. They just stapled in some clear plastic just to prevent debris from falling into the kitchen, but they packed up and left. And maybe 2 hours later, Tommy flushed the toilet up there, and we see clearly used water dripping onto that plastic. And
So
it's like,
so as of
it
right
continues.
now, your son's waste product is hanging precariously above your food source.
No. Thank goodness Meg decided to clear that up, and
Okay.
she used like this crazy system of paper towels and whatever.
Okay.
It's bleach and a hose.
I'm pretty sure the next step is to use dynamite at
I
this
see.
point.
Well, at least you can take your son aside. Like, Tommy, listen, for the next couple days, you're peeing outside on a tree. Just till we get this all sorted. Come on out. We'll have a little pee session, a little father-son pee session. It's not all good. A little bonding.
And it's Halloween time, so he can like dress like a dog, and we can just have him poop in the backyard.
Perfect. Solid. I love it.
No one will be the wiser.
Very nice. And like I said, I know this is the content everyone's here for. All 147 of you that love our content, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. Smash those buttons. Share this with your friends. Give us some likes and some reviews. Leave comments and let us know what you think of Dave's toilet situation.
Yeah.
But
It's very exciting.
yeah, no, home renovations can always be rough. So I hope it goes well for you. Matt, your fitness, where's that?
I've been doing pretty well. Been still doing the elliptical. Been working, doing the exercises the physical therapist gave me for my back. Showing slow progress, but Rome wasn't built into a giant mound in a day, so it's not going to get down to a twig in a day. So,
Well, also, though, Pompeii wasn't built to a giant mound in a day, but it did not become a mound in a day. So, just saying.
because it's splooged.
Do you have a big splooge in you, Matt? Just get it all out?
Not at this day and age anymore.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Maybe 10 years ago.
And who's going to put that big splooge into you, Matt?
I know some clowns.
Sounds like Dave's volunteering.
Hey! Neil's here somehow, even though I don't see him joining this call in any way, shape, or form.
His face looks like an N to me.
There is no face. I don't even see Neil appearing in the list of participants of this call.
I
Anyway.
see an end as well.
But anyway, my fitness is going great. I'm lifting heavy shit. I'm going to the gym. It's wonderful. I'm looking at how to improve my home gym. Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Nothing too fancy. Neil, we can't see you, so I can't see you. Oh, okay. Anyway, Neil, while you're working on it, what's your hobby been?
Working on the second version of Battle Across the Realms.
Yes, you
Pretty much
have.
all I do now.
Listen, if you don't make someone rage quit at the end of each one of those events, you're not doing narrative right.
Well, so far, 1 for 1.
Yep.
There you go.
Gotta support. There you go. I see Neil's name now. No picture yet. Neil,
So,
what's
Neil, I believe.
Neil? What's your fitness
I
been?
believe. Hold on. I believe
Okay.
your microphone, Neil, is the one that defaults on your computer and not the one on your headset.
So we'll just talk about Neil's fitness now. I bet Neil is doing like 1,000 burpees a day. It just seems like what he would do.
At least 1,000.
Look at those abs. Like we got that beautiful shot right now. That nice Ohio State.
The old gut shot.
Yep.
Is that actually coming in? No kidding?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you're in. It's hey, you're just as laggy as me. Like, hey, just because it's laggy, we'll put the Marathi picture back up. Enjoy, everybody on YouTube. Thanks for the artist for letting me steal this off your Twitter for a few minutes.
That's not fair. I can't see that.
You want to. Trust me, it's wonderful. Anyway, back to our pretty faces. So there we go.
Or these faces that we are attached to, either way. I mean,
Yeah.
some you lose some, and I've done a lot of losing.
Take some, you win some. Anyway, so now that the preamble's out of the way and we've talked about Dave's toilet situation. No, actually, unless Neil, do you have any major home repairs going on that we need to talk about?
No major home repairs, no.
Okay.
There's not shit flooding through my house like it did.
Okay, because we're going to start calling this just the dad's corner. Matt, do you have any home repairs going on?
No.
Do you have any
Too smart for that.
any home repairs you'd like to do, Matt?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, give me one. Come on.
We had water damage, so in that corner over there, you can literally see, because we have old plaster walls,
Okay.
so there's literally just crumbling veins.
Oh, where the water
was
flowed.
dripping through.
Nice.
And it's like, in order to get it repaired, we have to like basically cut that whole part of the wall away and replaster it. And the crumbling, it's only in the corner. Like it's,
That's the frugalness.
Yeah, we thought we got to our water problem within like 2 minutes, and it wouldn't be a big deal. That is not true. Like,
well, ours was literally, so we don't have a second story, so it's just the whenever we bought the house, we were told, oh, your roof has a good 5 to 8 years left, no problem. Year one, first big rain.
a good 5 to 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
What about you, Neil? Any big home repairs coming up that you got planned or need to do?
My AC has blown out, and a good friend of mine whom I play Warhammer with.
Give him a
Only
shout
just
out. Give him a shout
just
out
to
to his
put it on
company.
ice.
Give him a shout out to
Said,
his company.
Put it on ice until next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's my kind of home repair right there.
There you go.
So
that's
we're
the
just gonna wait that
Is it,
one
do
out.
you want to plug his company?
I don't even know what it's called. What's this company called, Dave?
it's Carl, right?
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Carl's
Harding
AC.
Heating or something like that.
Yes. So if you're over in the, was it north?
Alliance, Ohio.
Yep, near Alliance, Ohio. Give him a call. For me, the wife wants a new floor in the kitchen, so it's also going to be tile. Yay! I'm so excited to lay tile. Yeah. Anyway, hey, big shout out to the University of Akron for sponsoring this this
Unbeknownst
podcast.
to them, but no one's to us.
Yes. Kudos to them for unknown reasons. Anyway, so we are going to change up the format here. I was hoping to talk to you guys about it a little bit before, but due to the fact that Google Meets decides to only give you an hour, fuck you, Google, and Discord on my computer decided to show a green screen instead of my face, fuck you, Discord. Thankfully, Akron University came to the rescue and got us this Teams meeting. So
First time ever.
didn't didn't have time to do it with you, so we'll go over it live so everyone can kind of see the format. I want to. We're going to do it live. The format we're going to try for a little bit to see if it works. I'm really interested for it. There's a new podcast out right now called Distractable. It's a much better podcast than this. It doesn't actually just focus on the Warhammer niche. It's really good. Go listen to it. Some great YouTubers are taking care of it. But I like the format so much. It's very fun. It's very easy. It kind of fits what I'm after. Because, Matt has the Big Empower Hour, and he wants to talk about all that stupid, boring stuff about, what if we fix Stormcast? Why don't we talk about this army for 17 hours and talk about the +1, -1? Like, yeah, that's not what I want to do in the podcast, because I play test and ITO, so.
I do want to say something extremely positive about Matt's podcast.
Yes.
I want my free tacos.
Someone's listening. Yeah, okay. I make fun. Matt and Cole do a fantastic job, and they fill the niche that I don't have the heart to do on this channel. So thank you for doing that, because truly, I would claw my eyes out to try and do that content. It's not what I want to do.
Yeah, they're the ones who actually have to read the rules for things.
Listen, again, like I always said, like the Big M's Power Hour is just to get it out of my head, because otherwise it torments me.
What works?
And this way it torments the listeners.
Yeah, out of my head and into your soul. Go
Feel
watch
the
my
burn.
dwarf episode, by the way. It was pretty good. 2 months ago, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, yeah. So here's what the format's going to work. So each and every episode, there's going to be a host. The host is going to be the winner of the previous episode's, essentially, chat game format. So here's how that format's going to work. So I will be the host this first time around. The host, without letting anyone know before we get on to record, will think of a topic. Now, we are going to keep it focused on Warhammer. We'll try and keep it focused more on Age of Sigmar, unless we have a group of people that also maybe do 40K, so maybe we'll branch around. So obviously, Neil, you don't like space. So if Neil's on the show, you can predict it to be Age of Sigmar related. But it can be adjacent. For instance, it doesn't have to be about an army or anything like that. It could be like, what's your favorite dice to take to a tournament? It could be.
Neil doesn't like space. He's like Nega Bezos.
He is Nega Bezos.
Neil also
Winter
doesn't believe
Bezos.
we landed on the moon.
It's
So
not true. I'm not one of those. It's not true.
Oh boy! All right.
Do you believe in the moon? What's wrong with you?
Neil believes the government is now run from the moon.
Also not true.
Listen, it's easy to run. It's easier to run a flat Earth if you're running it from the moon. Everybody knows that. God.
See the whole thing from up there.
Yeah, ice wall and all, with those lizard eyes. Anyway, I'm sorry. I wanted to say we can keep going. The topic of the day will always be something close to or adjacent to Warhammer, close enough that we can kind of tie it in. So what it'll be is, for instance, today I'm the host. The topic of the show is going to be Warhammer Age of Sigmar tournaments. So what each of everybody else on the show, whether it's 2, 3, or more people, has to think of a story within the topic or something to talk about that's interesting to them about the topic. And me, as the host, will award points to the people as they talk and throughout the entire discussion. Of course, we may devolve and get off topic. That's not a big deal. The host will make sure we get us back on topic. But everyone will talk about it. The host will award points as we go. And at the end, whoever has the most points wins and becomes the host for next time and gets to choose the topic. So this episode aside...
The Sports Center show. What's the Sports Center show that does this?
Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruption.
There you go. Yeah. So we're gonna try that format. I
wish I didn't know that.
I stole it from Distractable, not Sports Center. So they probably stole it from there. So we're gonna go with that. So today's topic is Warhammer Age of Sigmar tournaments. So, and honestly, we'll probably try and keep these shorter as we go. Maybe less preamble, less need to talk about. And I would actually like to move this cursor off the screen that's over Matt's head for the past 10 minutes. I would also like you guys to think of a pithy little title for your story or anecdote you're going to talk about too before we do it. So, does anybody have something in their head already?
Boy, my problem is not is not trying to come up with one. It's trying to come up with one that's like appropriate for.
Nah.
What kind of tournaments have you been in, Matt?
Age of Sigmar, Matt, not your other tournaments.
I kind of think prize support has an entirely different meaning. Because
hey man, can't handle the whole prize. Don't play the game.
All right. Neil, do you have a title? Do you have an idea of what you want to call your story? You have your story?
I got nothing, man. I got to hear somebody else go first.
well, I'm gonna have a tiny tale from.
Hey, does
Let's see.
Here, real
think
quick,
that-
let me ask you this: do we have multiple stories, or do we just have one story?
we're gonna there's gonna be your core story. If it turns into like branching stories off that one, that's perfectly fine. Like I said it's a very loose format. But I imagine there'll be multiple small stories. Like I said, you'll earn points at my discretion. So if you have a short story and then someone else, and then you get another story that jogs your memory as someone else talks about things, absolutely, we can jump in and do that. I mean, I did send you guys episodes of Distractable to listen to, so you understood this format beforehand, but clearly you didn't listen. Matt, I don't want to hear the fact that I don't listen to your podcast, even though it's on my channel.
Again, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just listened to your description and I saw the people talking. I
Yeah.
got that down, but like I have a lot of stories I could tell.
Okay, well, pick with Dave. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the NASCAR of tournaments, which will make sense when I get around to it, and it will turn out to not have been that funny of a title.
Dave, you get a point for going first. Congratulations.
Woo!
Well, I'll
My
tell you.
only point.
and there's always the point for lying, because anything involving a GT and you going fast, no.
It's true. It's true. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, the floor is
Gotcha.
yours.
My first Adepticon. Neil talked me into going to Adepticon one time. He was talking about the amazing time he had, which was, I believe, when he first met you in person, Chuck. And
That was
So
my
I-
highlight, but go on.
Ooh.
Shots fired.
that's minus
Oh.
10 for Neil.
No, it's you are not the host, sir. So I'm going to remove a point for trying to take over my hosting duties. Interruptions are allowed and encouraged. So we're back to net zero.
Alright.
So continue, Dave.
So the whole Adepticon thing, it was way over my head. You know, I am, shall we say, generously not an overly talented player. Although the night before, I totally got, false sense of security here when I played Neil on my, what was that, 38th birthday? 30. What
Here
year
we
did
go. Yeah, I knew he was gonna go.
Oh yeah. No, but this is not the point of the story. This is the warm up lap. This is where we're all behind the pace car. So I had this fantastic victory against Neil that he bitches about, and I see him shaking his head now. But anyway, so roll into the tournament then. 2-day tournament, 5 rounds. Day 1, I got my ass handed to me 3 rounds straight. Not what I expected. Whatever. And day 2, having traveled 7 hours west to go to Chicago for this event. Day 2, my first opponent was part of the Ren 4 group, lives up in Cleveland. And my round 5 opponent, Neil Larocca.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Best
so-
opponent he's ever had.
You're welcome for that,
So
by the way,
that-
Dave. You're welcome
In
for that.
fact, this opponent actually talked him into how to beat me. We're sitting there, they're clanging tables together. They're exploding the event around our heels, and Dave's still wondering how to beat me when I'm like, dude, it's right there.
Yeah,
Just
it was.
move this here, that here, attack this, and you win the game.
So it's the NASCAR tournament because after all that travel and everything, I ended up right the fuck where I started. Because Neil and I drove to that goddamn tournament together.
I think we're also on the second to last table.
Well, and right next to us, we had Steve Herner and Les Martin.
Oh wow.
There you
So
go.
it's like we could have just sort of each of us played one of them, but no. They're like, oh, we saw you guys in a car together.
Yay.
You dined in the basement with kings.
Yeah.
Dave, I do want to take credit, an assist on your layup there to finish Neil off, because him and I played the game before, and it was a rematch from a test game where I was testing out Daughters of Cain. So having punted him down a few tables after our game, it was nice to know that you were able to finish him off.
Consequently, the only victory Chuck's ever had against me. Just saying, hey-o!
Although how many times have we played actually?
3.
3. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. You're. Yep. You're up 2. I got 1. Fucking Manfred. Jeez. Or not? No, Neferata. Manfred's dead. Took out Manfred like a bitch. Neferata. Jesus.
This is the tournament where I was in the hotel.
Was that the one with
No, Matt, you didn't come to this one, I don't think.
Okay, so it was between then. Huh?
Yeah, it was the one year you didn't join.
somewhere I have the coaster that tells me what year it was, but
I'll tell you though, that one year, nothing bad happened. I mean,
It's true. It's true.
the other two though.
I really don't remember what year that was.
Well, anyway, Dave, you get a point for a great story. Neil, I'm also
Hear
gonna
that, guys? The standards are low.
Neil, I'm also gonna award you a point just for not letting Dave get away with that shit without leaving out all the
You
details.
award me 2 points. I believe I should have 2 points for both my victories over you, Chuck.
No.
Neil, he's only giving points for people who destroyed Seraphon models.
Oh boy,
Terrible.
So maybe someday you'll join that club. Neil.
one day.
I'm gonna rage quit that game. That's the only reason why that happened.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'll go next, I guess.
Yeah, come on, Matt. What you got? What you got?
I've decided one that won't get you in any trouble.
Aw.
I'll go with. Well, I mean, do you want me to do the one that'll get you in trouble?
You can do both. Go ahead. Pick one. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. So we'll go. Well, so I wasn't going to say that one, so I don't have the title for that one. So I guess we'll go with. Fuck that guy. Yeah, that's what we'll go.
Okay. Okay. I like it coming in hot.
So
Bug in my
so
screen. Okay.
There's Chuck and I. We're running the first Nova tournament. I think we.
I know what this
And-
story is. I love it.
And everything's going great. Everything's going great. We're having a great time. No one's bitching or moaning about anything other than the painting rubric.
My fault.
Which again,
My fault.
still a small victory to me because the entire run up, I'm like, it's not gonna. And he was so convinced that I just was against painting models at all that it was no, that's wrong. So that's fine. I was right in the end, so that's great. But so we're doing this. We're getting everything taken care of. Knocking it out of the park. And then I think it was at the end of the second, or no, it was the end of the round for the end of the first day where we had the survey questions.
Yes, we had Games Workshop asked us to hand out. Sorry, I'm catching a bug on my screen if you're looking on YouTube. Games Workshop asked us to hand out surveys questioning all the players about thoughts on the game, general stuff. So we collected it and turned it back in.
Yeah, and so no problem there. Just couldn't get to make sure everyone filled them all out, and
I just know what's coming. I just know what's coming, and I love it.
I forget who it is. If you put him up in a lineup, I wouldn't be able to point him out. But he came up
Real quick, I could. I don't know his name, but I remember his face.
Clearly etched in Chuck's memory.
Doesn't even ring a bell. So he comes up and then kind of tosses the survey at us and is like, yeah, AOS is a great game except for the double turn. And so I'm trying to be positive, try to put out it can be rough, but you just got to learn to plan for it. And he's like, no, it's just a shit mechanic.
Meanwhile, this guy is wearing a shirt that clearly he had in high school, even though he was in his probably mid to late 40s. So clearly he's an old fantasy player.
So
You guys know the look. You guys know the look.
The polite disagreement kind of goes into subtle unfriendly discourse.
Yes, there was a line drawn in that sand, and no one was moving.
So he eventually just kind of gruffs off about face and goes, and and then I just reach over for the survey, and then I take it and crumple it up and go, "Fuck that guy," and throw it.
Meanwhile, Matt looks it into the trash can. And Matt, you're getting a couple points for this story because it's gold. It's pure gold. And
Bold.
meanwhile, me being the head TO and still over my head at this moment.
By the way, real quick, because again, like you said, he's still getting acclimated to things. He's still worried about what the boundaries are. I crumple this up. Chuck turns as white as a ghost.
Like, oh my god! Like, I was seriously like in retail mode, like customer satisfaction. Like the guy didn't see it. But I'm like, Matt, you can't do that just because people disagree and are wrong.
And I told him, I was like, I don't want that opinion in the pool.
So I grabbed the piece of paper, I kind of smoothed it back out, put it back in the pile. Matt's like, you're wrong. Meanwhile, unnamed employee from unnamed company walks over. Matt relays a story. This unnamed employee from unnamed company was like, you were in the right. And as soon as that happened, I was like, took the piece of paper and I just threw it away again. I'm like, okay. I don't care. Go ahead. What? Where do you go? Fire me from volunteering? I don't care.
Right. See, I'll tell you, that just goes to show you I TO the right way.
Yes. Matt helped guide me. If you disagree with the double turn, go play 40K and
Double
enjoy
turn
that
dead.
community. Yeah, there we go. Fuck that guy.
Dead.
Yeah. Oop, hey, my keyboard's doing that thing where it's just putting zeros everywhere. I love it. Let me fix that. Sorry. Because right now, Matt has 200 million points.
Oh, no fair.
That's a little too many for my taste. Anyway.
That's probably fair.
Perfect. Neil, I mean, you've had some time to think. Where are you at?
I will title my story Suzud.
Okay. All right.
For a second there, I was like, "Is this some sort of acronym I'm unaware of?" Like,
No.
Then I realized.
Sousa is
so my
is it a
very-
verb?
Go ahead. It is now. It is now.
I believe the proper verb is soused.
Hot soused.
Soused? Hot soused? That was hot soused. So this was my first Nova that I actually played in. This was the 6th game Nova. I think, Chuck, your first, I believe.
Yeah, 6 the first. Yeah.
First that you ran.
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
the same,
that's right.
this is the same
Also
Nova,
won the
actually.
6th round tournament.
Yes. So I went in an astounding 3-3. Was very happy with this dragon army that
Wait.
I had.
You went 3-3.
I was actually did not have a losing record in that tournament.
So I feel like if you're 3-3, that must just be like losses and ties somehow.
it's not.
No,
it's
this-
3-3. So
this-
what happens? Is,
Wasn't this the last
I-
hurrah of all the Dragon Knights?
Yes.
before that
it actually
battalion
was.
got
I actually made a
moved? Yeah.
Really crappy cardstock battle tome, just for the fun of it. That Chuck helped me out with the front of. It was handing said crappy battle tome out to people. But no, my first game I played against a Chaos player and lost. And I played that game a little differently. I think it would have gone a little bit better, but it was Khorne, and I should have known that army a little bit better since I play them 90% of the time. But then I went and I played Sylvaneth the second game, won. So I'm 1-1, and I'm not sure how. Maybe I played one more. That's why I played one more. I wind up 2-1. Somehow I get on the same table as Bill Souza, and I'm not sure how. With one loss,
Hey, listen.
I found my way to Bill.
Listen. I don't know if maybe he also had the loss too, but that was early times for BCP. So let's not discount a weird screw up on their part too. Let's just throw them under.
Had to be.
Let's just throw them under the bus.
Because I'm fairly sure, like generalship wise, points wise, he was like in the running to win it at the end.
So,
So,
if,
yeah.
but if this is the one that Chuck ran, I'm not going to rule out the possibility that the TO just saw you smiling and was like, I can fix that.
Wink, no. I mean, Bill's awesome to play against.
Yes.
But this was his his famous flesh eater quartz, he is the ghoul king, right?
Mhm,
And here I am staring it down, I'm like, well, this is gonna be quick, and it was. I feel like I acquitted myself well. I think I might have killed 2 of his Terrorgeists in that game,
Wow.
which for me was like, hey, I got a model off the table, so that's really good.
Yeah, that is a real accomplishment for you, Neil.
And I will say that man has not a stitch of slow play in him. He's got the dice roll, and he's going, and I like, my head's like.
The fact that you're lagging and it blurred more just made that so much better.
It was, we were just moving fast, and a good friend of mine came down, and he lives in DC, and he chose that moment to come down and kind of check out the game of Warhammer, and he's standing right there next to me as I'm just getting raked across the coals. And I'm trying to explain to him what's going on, but at the same time, like, not give Bill a bad game. Yeah, it was just a top to bottom disaster, and Bill cleaned me off pretty quick. That was the only time I got soused or soused. How do we
Soused, it's
how's
soused.
the verb working on that? Soused.
I mean,
Yeah, I got soused.
listen, I've been soused a few times. My first sousing actually. So
I think we have a new shirt brewing.
I think we do too.
You've been soused.
You've been soused. We got and we need to send.
It's
We'll pay. We'll charge enough so it can help pay for Bill to go to events, just so people will want to buy that shirt because they got soused.
just soused anonymous.
Soused anonymous. Oh, I don't. Maybe I'll run it by Bill. Like, hey, can I borrow your last name and pronounce it incorrectly?
Well, and we also need the shirt for people who are fortunate or unfortunate to face him a second time, because I need the one that says "soused again."
Yes.
Because I have now played him twice.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying that my first sousing. Actually, this will be my story. Hosts are allowed to give stories. I guess the host could win points because the host can do whatever the hell they want.
Points?
No, I
feel
give
like
my
the
own points.
host just makes up his own fucking rules. That's
Yes, yeah. Not Dave's catching on. Dave, that's a point right there. Thank you for paying attention to the format here. So, this was right after the first General's Handbook was released. And the store in Warhammer Bridgeville, so the official Warhammer Games Workshop store in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, was having a 1-day 3-game tournament. And then I went up to there to play in it. I took a mix. It was some Phoenix Guard and some Stormcast. Like, I tried to take cheese because, like, that was, like, still just post Wild West. So, mixed order. I just took the cheesiest list I could. And I stomped through my first 2 games. Absolutely demolished. I don't even remember what... Matt, you might have been one of them. I can't remember if you were there or not.
Well, again, this was right after General's Handbook. I was still running Dispossessed, so yes.
Yeah. Like, it was like no issue, whatever. I'm going to this 3rd game. At this, like, I got this. Fantastic. This is going to be my first, I guess, not even RTT. It was like a 6 or 8 player event. It wasn't anything super big. I'm like, I got this, no problem. There's this new guy. I don't know who the hell he is. Nice, tall. He's nice. Got a good smile. Great beard. Bill Souza. I introduced each other. He puts down Flesh Eater Quartz. Even at this point, he puts down Flesh Eater Quartz. And I'm going, okay. And like, talking back and forth, like, this is what my army does. This is what his army does. And it's like, okay, so I think I can have more damage output than him. That was wrong. We played all the way to turn 5. And my Phoenix Guard, they were going strong with their Witness to Destiny, with that extra little 4-up. But just the fact that those Flesh Eater Quartz could regrow and just keep coming back, it was just I was soused real hard, real fast, and it was great. So I took second happily. A nice little trophy on it. So I have a trophy for my first sousing.
Can I say this too about, like, when I play a good player like that, and I'm playing, and I really tried to give him a good game. I really tried hard, and I knew the second he walked up was like, done. I'm done. But I wanted to give it a good shot.
Yeah.
I have no idea at the end of these games whether, like, maybe there was like a moment whether he thought like or whether, like, from the very onset he's like, this game's over. This guy is terrible. Like, I don't know. And, like, he's such a nice guy. He won't tell you.
No, he will help you.
Like, wow, like,
he will help you as you
like,
play.
did this, like, really good. Like, That was the, like I remember him telling, like, wow, those dragons, they really put out some pretty good output there, and this and that, and like, and I'm like, I just want you to tell me straight up, was I like really really bad, or was I like maybe like a 4 out of 10? Like, just give me a 1 out of like 10 rating. Like, where am I in the 0 to 10 rating somewhere? Give me a rating so I know. Because if I'm like a 2 and I tried really hard, next time I just won't.
We'll just drink some beers and move on.
Right. I'll just kind of push some stuff around.
Well, say, hey, like before we get too far into a Bill Souza chat here, which I mean,
no, we got one more bit.
Okay, I'm saying,
what we need to do.
I would say the next.
We need to get the shirt that is, today was the day that you faced the great Bill Souza. For me, it was just a Tuesday.
Well, yeah. For me, it was just game 2. Yeah, I'm gonna make that shirt. I'll have to give royalties to Bill, I guess. Anyway, so just as a little aside, so whoever's the winner next time, like if you decide the topic is Bill Souza, that's Warhammer adjacent. Like I want you guys to really grasp the concept of what I'm after here. Like it
just really just tackle that beard and just how glorious it is.
Yeah, like for instance, like
a velveteen rabbit.
Another great story. Actually, Matt, was I interrupting you? Did you have another anecdote here?
No, that was my bit.
Okay, that was your bit. So Warhammer tournaments. I could also talk about the meeting I got together with the U.S. people and GW. Like that's technically at a Warhammer tournament. It counts. Or the fact that I remember, Neil, that the last Adepticon we went to, just a whole bunch of us, like a bunch of Age of Sigmar people, we all kind of know each other, sitting around the fire at the lounge at Adepticon. And I was like, I'm going to go light. I'm going to be good. And then Neil walks up with this, was it Buffalo Trace? I don't know. It was some expensive whiskey.
Oh, it wasn't Buffalo Trace. It was Glenlivet, I think.
Yeah, needless to say, I went to bed really drunk. Holy cow. I was not walking straight back. I was like, I'm going to be good. Not a big deal. It's we got games tomorrow. I was helping as one of the members of Alex Gonzalez's team to run it. I was like, I'm going to be fresh as a daisy, learn from him and get going. Nope. Neil walks in and says, you're getting drunk with me, and we did. that story can even count. It's at a Warhammer tournament. So do you got any other stories you guys might have that you want to add on here? I mean, points are still up for grabs, gentlemen.
I'm gonna nominate the a college beer award for Stephen Mata, always bringing up those
Natter Days? Natter Days?
The Natter Days.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name. Those are, I'm going to say it's surprisingly refreshing. I have consumed much worse things than those.
Yeah,
I don't know how he... I don't know how he does it. Like, so we played at Neil's thingamajig, the thing he always talks about.
Losing?
Ouch.
Neil's losing thing.
Yeah, Neil's silly thing that he does every once in a while.
That thing that sucked.
We were at I was at a table with Mata, and I swear to God, he drank like 10 of those damn things during one game, and we were already in game 2.
He's a goddamn professional.
He has to have a hollow way. That's what it is.
let me piggyback on this a little bit. So we'll call this drinking challenge for this story. So this was actually the event that I ran at my house. We had 5 tables, and so whenever I play Mata, we always come up with a game within the game, and it usually involves drinking. And so what we decided was, anytime, let's say anytime Mata took one of my units off the battlefield, I got to make him drink, and vice versa. So, and you didn't stop drinking until I told you to stop. So, we just went. It was a great rule, right? Because he was taking off a lot of my units, and he just had big giants. So there were not a lot of giants leaving the battlefield, and he also had Kragnos as well. So he was rolling through skeletons left and right, and I was getting this poor gentleman drunk really bad. And so the game's getting over. It was a little bit back and forth, but it was pretty clear he'd won at the end of this. and I was just moving stuff around the board to try and get as many points as I possibly could in this game because that's how we were kind of advancing through the event, so to speak. And so I moved this little corpse cart back as far as I could, but still within the level of this objective, right? And I knew he could still get to it. And he goes into his turn, and he brings the guy up, and he goes, I'm gonna charge that. I was like, are you sure you want to charge that? And he's thinking game wise, like I got something up my sleeve here. And
the sneaky corpse cart.
He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, all right, man, you want to charge it? That's fine, but So he charges it, completely wipes it off the board. I was like, start drinking. And I think I took him through a beer and a half before I let him off the hook.
And speaking of which, Neil, point for hosting that event.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Actually, that's the other thing, man. The games were fun. Don't get me wrong, and the Mexican restaurant the night before was also fun. But just sitting around that campfire.
I was there for a second on that. I was like, where's it
I was like, wait, like the Mexican. Claire, come on. My brain's like, say restaurant. Oh, yeah, okay. It was a restaurant, yeah.
Mexican. Nice. It was nice.
I love that Mexican.
Yeah, just sitting around that
Mexican was really
campfire,
messy, though.
the campfire that night, just smoking some cigars, drinking some beers, was like, it was one of those times it's just like, boys, I'm having fun. I love this. Like it reminds me of like what Warhammer is truly about, which is just getting together and hanging out. Like these toys are fun, but it's all just an excuse to get together and hang out with people like you.
Like one of the healthy one that was not smoking or drinking.
You were being very good, Matt.
By that point of the night, I definitely wasn't drinking because I had a long drive home.
Yeah,
You didn't have to though, Dave.
Yeah, you could have stayed there. Listen, there was lots of room on that Neil's son's bed that I was on. Like you could have joined, snuggled up together.
I'm not
My
sure
kids
I
were
like
gone,
the
by
sound.
the way.
Yes.
My kids were gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kids
they
and wife were
ice
gone.
Cold.
Wow. Take
We
some
made
points
sure.
away from yourself, sir.
Actually, I still distinctly remember. So obviously, smoking cigars around a campfire, like smell a little bit of smoke. So Neil, I apologize. To your wife, Amy. That they probably had to wash the sheets because all of this smelled like probably campfire smoke at the worst, if not cigars. I remember distinctly the next day, like having a great time. We weren't up too late, just going to bed. I remember just waking up, and it was one of those moments where usually when I wake up, I kind of like turn over and kind of stand up and all that. I was flat on my back, and my eyes awoke, and your son has a bunk bed. So above me is another bed. My eyes just opened, and there was a good 10 seconds where my brain's like, where the fuck am I? I don't recognize a single thing here, but the window is open. It was cool. I'm like, I'm comfortable. It's nice. Okay. No one's in the bed with me. All good here.
My ass is
I would
not
love if you
sore.
just woke up and screamed.
No. I think that was Matt because I think you were already downstairs making breakfast. I came down and you made me breakfast, Neil, which is fantastic. But I remember distinctly, and I might take a point away from you on this, Neil, here. So we're down there, and you have the TV remote. And you have a smart TV, and you have YouTube access on it. Pretty standard. You tried to start putting on something Warhammer, and I just said, oh, here, give it to me. I'll put something on. And without a moment's hesitation, you give that remote to the most happy, pop-loving Taylor Swift fanboy that ever existed.
I can take it. It's fine.
Yeah, well, it was real funny because I kept just going harder and harder, like Taylor Swift first, then Katy Perry, then Ava Max. I get like harder and harder.
Listen, I drink pumpkin spice lattes, and I will listen to some Taylor Swift.
Hell yeah.
I'm not above that.
Hell yeah. Well, listen, but like it's just continuously going as more and more of the people who stayed the night at your house were coming in or showing back up. I remember distinctly Cole from the Big M's Power Hour. He was the one that broke first. I put on, was it Carly Rae Jepsen, Cut to the Feeling. And like it's a trash pop song. I know it, but it makes me happy and it feels good. And it was like halfway through the song, he looks over at me, walks over and holds out his hand. He's like, we're done. Give me the remote. I found his limits.
And by that time, I had already died inside like 4 fucking times. That music was awful.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, there was the 15-minute Mongolian death metal.
Oh yeah. Well, the Who's fantastic. You gotta love the Who. Well, see
I will
now.
say Ren 4 events, in my humble opinion, pump out the best food. We had some pretty solid eggs and bacon
We did.
that morning. Had the coffee rolling.
Oh, that
We
coffee
go out
was.
to battlegrounds for those events too. We get the homemade food coming out pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, you bastards didn't leave me one goddamn egg.
Just say we had didn't we have donuts? I think I had some donuts.
Yeah, there was
brought
donuts too.
Krispy
There was
Kreme.
donuts. Yep.
You're the only
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
I
Dave.
food that morning.
So what I'm saying is I'm setting the bar here, gentlemen. And so when I come to this Teyrathi Invitational, you know, I want to see a certain level.
Well, guess what? If you want to stay at my house, I'll cook you something. We can stop by somewhere, whatever you want, man.
Yeah, the
They'll
Teyrathi
cook
invitation.
eggs, then won't let you have one.
Yeah, I'll cook eggs. And I'll
Dave will
throw
buy
donuts
donuts.
in it.
So you want this?
Doesn't this look good?
Just
Put it
feed.
off the
Dog's
pavement,
bowl.
bitch.
Dog sniffs it and walks away.
You
Like,
want it? You go get it.
oh man, I will see what I can do about the Teyrathi Invitational for food. I still need to print the awards, figure out the prize support, and last year I did a shaker cup with the stickers. So I need to see if I can. I don't want to do that again because just from the nature of everything, whether it's laziness on my part, it's laziness on my part. Most of the people coming are still the same people. Sure, which doesn't bother me at all.
You tried to expand it a little bit.
I did,
Just
I
didn't
did,
work.
I did. Yes, and some people are busy.
Do you want to add you want to add some Lumineth to the prize pool?
We'll see. But yeah, anyway.
Next army I'm buying
I
from you,
can't
by
give
the
this
way,
shit
Matt.
away, man. I'm telling you.
Have you painted
That's
a?
the next army I'm buying from you.
Oh, the Lumineth.
Oh yeah.
Well, first, wait. How many have you bought off of him? Is it just Nurgle?
I bought Untitled Nurgle.
Just the
Okay, because I remember I bought Dark Elves off you, Neil. The Witch Elves.
Can I stop here for a second? Because the other night, my wife threw something down the stairs, and if you go straight down into my basement, I have 2 large shelves with models on them, which my Nurgle army is on and it was like a kid's toy gun, right? It went pop, 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 and she goes, "I didn't want to tell you about this because it went and it." She goes, "It hit a couple of your Nurgles." And I stopped for a second. I was like, "Did you just call them my Nurgles?"
Is that a euphemism for something?
He needs a
I was
point
like,
for that
I
one.
don't even care. That's amazing. Nurgles.
I say I could give Amy a point by proxy for that. That's good.
Amy is
Yeah.
clearly winning. She's going to be hosting next time.
She is.
So that is my Nurgles army. from
Your
now on.
Nurgle-
They're my Nurgles.
Nurgle's army. I love it. I don't know how you play Nurgles. Actually, so coming back from the Warhammer US Open in New Orleans, NOLA, I grabbed one of those Nurgle plushies. My wife, she likes plushies, so I was like, all right, I'll bring it home to her. I don't know what it's going to be. She looked at it and she's like, that's interesting. She was appreciative. And then her next response was, we could leave it out for Halloween. So right now it's upstairs out for Halloween. And then after Halloween, I guess it's coming down to the basement down here.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
See, I think
that's
I would
my
be more
Nurgles.
interested in the Nurgle plushie if they would have had multiple variations of it, as opposed to just the one.
Yeah, well, it's like they released
You're asking a
those
lot there, bud.
the
I
Squig
know.
plushies. The Squig plushies are out now, but it's
I saw
Christmas
those.
themed, which is kind of neat. But also, like, that means you have to make multiple versions. Like, I want a Thanksgiving theme, a Halloween theme, a normal theme of the Squig. Like,
You know what they could do is they could just come out with a dwarf and just have different funny hats.
that's true. That's true.
This one's a dwarf and he has a funny hat.
Now he has a slightly different. That's very British. That'd be very British.
Now he has a sad hat.
Aww.
Because he
now
read
it's
his
an
war
ironic hat.
scroll.
Listen,
Yeah, I actually don't think they would do a Thanksgiving hat. I don't think they would.
You almost got Dave.
Yeah. Do you want an Independence Day hat too? Like,
are you sure they wouldn't be excited that they got that's what? Or maybe it wouldn't be Thanksgiving. It'd be a few months before when they're like, we got rid of the Puritans hat. How about that? Yeah.
Thanks Ridden's Day.
Festivus
Yeah.
for the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah, Festivus. Mini Warhammer Festivus. Maybe, yeah.
We could just come with a pole. So.
Yep, just beat people
Festivus
around
is
with
a
it.
very dwarfy holiday.
Yeah,
It-
A lot of problems with you people.
airing of
You're gonna hear
grievances.
about it. Festivus isn't over until you pin me. Go. Maybe that's what we'll do for the Teyrath Invitational. We'll also celebrate Festivus in true
You say
fashion.
air our grievances.
That's right.
It is going to become sportsmanship. Better not be on the ticket, man.
No,
I
it's
think that's we'll have to record for that too.
it'll
We
be
have to
like
do the airing of grievances early enough in the day where people haven't shut down their drinking to drive home.
no. We need to be drunk before we do that. I don't have to drive home, so
I can help with that.
So that's I'm talking like 4 in the afternoon, something like that. No one's
Well-
leaving really soon, so
Well,
everybody's still blitzed.
we'll see too, because it's probably gonna have to be in the local club hall, which is technically the church of a basement. So we probably won't be drinking down there.
No, we'll do it in the backyard again, no matter what.
We can.
We'll tailgate in the church parking lot. It's fine.
We're gonna fucking,
Also, just be in my yard, I guess.
It's just another Sunday, right, Neil? Tailgating in the church parking lot.
let us know.
Hey man, I was raised by Catholics, man. So
Yeah,
half of them were
actually,
going
yeah.
to church.
We
You
actually.
pre-gaming before that communion.
So, thanks to my shop owner Norm, he keeps the key to the church for us to use as the club. He keeps that handy. My keyboard's screwing up again. Stop it. He keeps it handy, and he put the church key on a church key. I bet Neil knows what that is. You know what a church key is? It's a bottle opener, Neil. Come on.
Wow.
Come on. That's.
I don't get it.
That's outside my experience right there.
You said you're Catholic. I don't know. What's
Yeah.
just remove a
Not
point.
anymore.
Remove a point from that, I guess.
He already feels bad enough.
I was. That's a was.
Yeah. Was his
Long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we do the topic of prior religion? No, let's not.
Let's not.
All right. So anyway, let me.
Oh man, I had a thing for that.
I mean, we all have things for that, Dave. But this is a Warhammer podcast. The only faith we're going to be talking about is how it is to be in the glorious servitude of Marathi Kane and being in the faith of Kane himself. All other religions in the mortal realms are false.
He said, well,
It's also how good that high priest command trait is, huh?
Listen, High Priestess Teyrathi is doing well for herself.
No,
All
I'm
right.
not talking about the damn Terathi. I'm talking about command trait.
Anyway, I'm going to add up these points. Here. So, Matt, Dave, can I get a drum roll, please?
Yeah.
On the desk, like a normal human being. Make it bad for the listeners. And the winner is Matt.
Yay.
Congrats, Matt.
So close, too, I'm sure.
You almost lost it at the end by mocking Marathi Kane. You almost lost it.
Well, I'd like to thank my opponents for being truly terrible storytellers. That really,
I've got one thing going for me. You can't take it away from me.
It's at the University of Akron.
Well, that's not going well for anybody.
go fighting tadpoles.
Yay! Anyway, so yes, Matt,
Fear
you
the rue, Matt. Fear the rue.
Matt, you will be the host next time. You get to choose a topic. Don't tell any of us what it is, and you will see what guests you get. So, yeah, thanks everybody for showing up. You can find me at strengthhammer_ on Instagram, Twitter, strengthhammer.net for links to pretty much everything, including shirts, such as the possible I Got Soused shirt. We'll see if that can become a thing. Maybe Soused 2 Flesh Eater Boogaloo. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Neil, where can they find you?
Not many places anymore. I'm just creeping on Twitter, and
Creep.
I haven't even been very active on Ren 4, but you can find me on those places at Neil Larocca and on Ren 4. So at some point I'll re-engage.
Okay, there you go. Dave, how about yourself?
You can access me on Twitter. I'm not going to say you can find me there.
You can access my ports.
I save that for you, Matt.
Yay!
At,
All three of them.
Is Matt
At night
is
of
Matt
the
just
day.
the R2D2 of this universe with Warhammer? Like he can just access all ports. He's like, oh, how are you in there? Okay, while you're here, have some. Yeah.
he was beeping earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is again.
So yes, Night at the Living Dave on
Night of the
Twitter.
Living Dave. Yes.
Matt, before you tell us
Or
where
Night
you're
of
at,
the Dave, because
Night-
Night of the Living Dave is actually too long, because fuck Twitter.
fuck you, Twitter. God, and fuck you, Facebook. Changing your name to Meta. I didn't like you anyway. Now I'm just like, we're moving Ren 4. All right, Ligonier Legion, my club. We're moving it. We're done with this bullshit meta stuff. Like, you're just fuck you. Anyway,
We'll run it all through the University of Akron's team.
Yeah.
yes,
There you go.
I am for this.
Back to MySpace. That's-
U-turn.
Geocities, Here we come.
U-turn.
GeoCities. Wow. GeoCities reference.
You can only find it through web crawler. Matt, before you tell us where we can access you and all of your lovely ports, do you have a victory speech for today's glorious win?
It's sometimes they tell you that it takes a village,
Time's up.
but that's completely wrong. It just takes unbridled boldness, awesomeness, conviction, determination, which clearly Neil and Dave do not have.
Well, now you definitely said unbridled baldness, and Neil's got that.
I said boldness, but if I did say
Baldness.
boldness,
Yeah,
yeah,
Neil's
Neil would-
got it.
Nega Bezos would get that in space.
I'm doing what I can here. So
I'm the Winter Bezos.
As far as that goes, you can find me as always on Twitter at strengthhammer _ #HeyMatt. Sorry, yeah, it is
Yeah.
#HeyMatt. Also, keep an eye out. The next Strength Hammer, the next Big M Power Hour, we already got it planned out. We're going to be looking at corn.
Ooh, actually, real quick,
now they're doing vegetable reviews.
So I took corn against our friend of our show, Alex, our Russian friend. He brought a Skaven list of comparable value. So I don't want to say it was a mighty victory, but corn took the day. So corn actually won. It really helped that my Bloodthirster was just rocking the rolling 5s and 6s whenever he had to heal D3 each hero phase before he died. But yeah, comparable list.
It also really helped that Alex only brought like D4s.
No,
So
actually,
he never
I don't
rolled
know
a
how
5
that's
or a 6.
possible. I know what you have in your corn army, and I'm not quite sure how that's possible.
summoning a second, losing so much that I summoned a second Bloodthirster really helped. But
Pretty quickly, I'd imagine then.
listen, it was a fun time. It was a great game. But all I'm saying is there's some gas in the tank. It's not much, and you better be going downhill. But there's some gas in the tank.
There's gas in the tank, but it's propane.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, I'm surprised, having played corn as much as I have, that I've not yet received the invitation to discuss this on Big M's Power Hour.
Ooh.
Well,
But,
the problem
might have
is-
something to do with my very poor tournament record.
I mean, the problem is the last time you were on, our views tanked.
Way down.
No, man.
That's what's
if you're,
holding this podcast right now too.
if you're interested, we'll talk it out.
All right, there you go. Big
I
news.
just want to point out,
Oh, yeah.
Schedule's pretty full.
my last single-player tournament that I participated in, I was on table 1, final round against the Suze himself.
How'd that go, by the way?
I was up there on table 1 for both rounds of the game.
All 2 of them. There you go. All right. Well, anyway, everybody stay Stormcast strong. Take care, and we'll see you on the next Strength Hammer podcast.
Get soothed.